Full scarcity and insecurity for Nigeria. Who we suppose blame? We supposed to blame the Nigeria elders and the Nigeria youths, because if this say they first do something for grant, now for there, now their children go say, okay, they won't follow the line where be say their father don't make, like they don't map for grant. They don't do anything at all. We will not go there. For this food scarcity and insecurity and many other things where they go on for Nigeria right now. Some of una no know say the way dollar and euro don't take high. Poor masses in Nigeria will find it difficult to survive. But however the case may be, Arise News don't come make us see and say. For the one way be say that they go, so even the Northerners, they are no longer happy with the president because he promised heaven and earth and is not fulfilling anyone. When I take a look.
The primary cause of what we are going through today is the recklessness of this government and this president by suddenly removing fuel subsidy on the day he was inaugurated, without looking at the balance sheet of the country, without consulting, and without knowing what the problems are. Flippantly, on May 29th, just removed fuel subsidy without having any fallback plans. You don't do that, and that's why we're going through all of this. Price of food is going up. Inflation, as at yesterday, was 29.9. The dollar, when they came to the naira, was 680. Today is 1,500. Everything is going up. And they are surprised because they don't have a plan. And I said it from the outset that in August last year, that Tinubunomics is nothing but a very painful pill for everybody to die. And people are dying. This president started this policy before he even assembling his team. It clearly showed that the president was being advised by shadowy, armchair, theoretical economists that know little or nothing about the sufferings of our people. And we all know all this policy is just a prescription they got from the World Bank in Washington, D.C. They got a prescription. And that prescription is killing our people. We've been raising our voices, telling the president and the governors. The president looks like he's just drowning. And the economic team, all they are doing is like flailing their arms as if they are drowning. I saw the three economic team the other day on TV at the National Assembly, and I was a lot more depressed than when it started. The Minister of Finance, the Central Bank Governor, and the FIRS boss. The honest truth is that they do not know how to get out of this mess. This self-inflicted pain they've put this nation through. They don't know how to get us out of it. And we are warning them. And we do not see what Martin Luther King referred to as the fierce urgency of now from this government to get us out of this mess. We are in serious trouble. Everything must stop. There is hunger in the land. Democracy means nothing to a hungry, angry, homeless man or woman. What they are doing is akin to a doctor coming into a room, patient's room, and just looking at the numbers. Oh, the blood pressure is this, the pulse is this, instead of looking at the patient. They have no connection with our people. Our people are suffering. Millions of people, predominantly women and children, go to bed hungry in this country of plenty. Nigeria has no reason to be poor. Nigeria is not a poor country, but our wealth is in the hands of a few. And we see that, even the cost of governance. They are living as if it is 1999. Our people are dying. That is why in the North, we had the voices of our traditional rulers. And they should take it seriously. You remember when the First Lady visited the Emir of Kano 2 weeks ago? The Emir of Kano told her, Go and tell Mr. President that our people are suffering. There is hunger in the land. It was a coded message, because if the president does not read the papers, if he does not go through social media, if his advisors would not tell him the truth, the emir was telling the wife, go and tell Mr. President. As a follow-through, all traditional rulers in the north met in Kaduna 3 days ago, and they came out with a screaming headline all papers took 3 days ago, read by the Sultan of Sokoto. This country is sitting on a keg of gunpowder, and there is nothing more they can do to stop the anger of their people. They've run out of excuses. In the north, our traditional rulers are the last bus stop. When they start talking, leaders need to sit up and listen. We're in big trouble. Our traditional rulers and our clerics, 2 days ago, yesterday, the sermons in all the mosques in the north, people are suffering. There is hunger in the land. People are dying in the midst of plenty. Leaders sit up. Any leader who does not listen to the sufferings of his people does so at his own peril. What we are afraid of, we're not afraid of what is going to happen to politicians. We're afraid is what is going to happen to our country, Nigeria. This country we love dearly. This country that has given us more than we have given back. This country that has been formed on the blood and sweat and tears of our leaders past. No reckless politician is going to break this country up by his recklessness and not listening to the concerns of the people.
All right,
there
Prof.
is hunger in the land.
All right.
All is not well.
All right, Prof. We heard you loud and clear, but I also know that you may not be a very big fan of the president. You probably didn't support his aspiration when he was trying to be the president of Nigeria. But of course, he's now the president, and you are looking at issues in terms of his policies. Now, you've used the example of the Emir of Kano sending a coded message to the president through his wife, the First Lady. But of course, you are also aware that the predecessor to the Emir of Kano, SLS, Sanusi Lamido Sanusi, has also come in defense of the president, stating clearly that what is happening is not the fault of neither the president nor this administration, and that the seed for what we are witnessing today was sown during the Buhari administration. It doesn't sound to me like you have any blames whatsoever for the previous administration and what Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu met on the ground. All I heard you say is that this is a reckless government who is not listening to the yearnings of the people. But this is the same president that has declared emergency on food insecurity. It's the same president that has asked that everything needed to be done in terms of making food available should be done. But up north, you have governors like Bago in Niger, whose answer to what is happening is to say that no truck with food item should be allowed to come down south. But you are putting all the blames on the president without seeming to address the entire issues affecting food insecurity in Nigeria. What else would you like the president and this administration to do?
Right, good. Emilio Khan, he's the one who said he could do it. It's his turn. This is not the turn of President Muhammadu Buhari. We spent 8 years criticizing President Muhammadu Buhari. We're tired. And I honestly don't want to even hear his name. He has messed this country up. And you, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, said, "It's Emilio Khan, it's my turn. I can do it." There is a saying that leaders have forfeited the right to make any excuses. It's your turn. It's not President Muhammadu Buhari that took away fuel subsidy flippantly. It is you. And you bear all the consequences of that reckless policy. So, It is you that we and God Almighty will hold responsible for whatever happens secondary to all your policies. It's not President Muhammadu Buhari or Jonathan. You can do it. You said it's your turn. Now do it. Leaders have forfeited the right to make excuses. And the way they are going about it, they are doing nothing. Let me tell you, it is the cause, it is the reason is inflation. It's not because there is no food in the market. It's inflation. When this party came in 2015, a bag of rice, 50 kilos of rice was 7,500. Yesterday I went to the market, it was 70,000. Maize, 60,000. How much is the minimum wage? 30,000. How much does a soldier in the war front earn? 50,000. How much does the police recruit earn, constable earns? About that. They cannot even buy rice. 30,000 in those who work. What is the percentage of Nigerians that work? So, Mr. President, sit up. This is no time for excuses. Leaders have forfeited the right to make excuses. And the way they are doing it is, they're thinking of price control. They are thinking of busting warehouses. Hello, I'm old enough to have seen 14 administrations. Clearly, from that of General Yakubu Gowon to currently President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. We in 1984, I was a young doctor, 2 years out of medical school. General Muhammadu Buhari followed the same thing. Price control, busting warehouses. Where did it take us? They haven't learned anything in 40 years. They haven't learned anything in 40 years. Yesterday, NLC, the president of NLC, Joe Ajero, said, you can give ₦1 million to workers if inflation keeps eating that up. You are not going to achieve what you need to achieve. The primary problem is the runaway inflation. The economy is out of control. The managers of our economy, they are drowning. They don't know what to do. They are the ones that cause the deterioration of the exchange rate of the naira, the inflation we see, and the cost of food and everything in the market. It is not availability. There is food in the market. What I call on all the governors of this country and the president, everything should stop still. This is no time to build bridges or flyovers. This is the time to open the treasury and buy food and give food to the people and subsidize food. The only way you can crash down the price of food is bring down inflation. But these guys don't know how to do it. But flood the market with subsidized food. I lived in the United States forever. Everywhere in the world there is subsidy on food. You go to the supermarket, everything has tax. But food item does not have tax. Why? Because leaders of those countries know that hunger in any land has national security implications. But apparently, the national security team of this president and the president himself do not see the national security implications of hunger in the land. There is food in the land. The state and the federal government should open the treasury, buy food, import food, ship food into this country. There